Hi YouTube, it's Lena, and this is just a quick little introduction before we get to the meat of the video, which is me doing a makeup collection video, which I partially really kind of hate the concept of me doing anyway. I'm always nervous about putting out how much makeup I have because I have a lot, and I know I have a lot, and some of these categories are way too much and I want to work on them. And that is the, disclaimer to put out there. I know it's a lot. It's a lot more than most people have. I'm working on it to an extent. But at the same time, I like to play with makeup. This is like my one main money using hobby. Most of my other hobbies are either free or very low cost. I don't know. D&D can get expensive if you're really buying all those books, but you can get most of them online now, so that's not even really as bad as it used to be. Trust me. Tabletop RPGs back in the day could get very expensive buying all those damn books. Like White Wolf, there was a book for everything under the sun that you could think of that would be related to it, and of course you wanted to get them all so that you could know all the lore. I'm rambling. Sorry, but I ramble when I'm nervous, and doing these kind of videos make me nervous. But I do kind of want to hold myself accountable for certain categories, especially this particular one that I'm doing, which is base products, primer, setting spray, foundation, concealer, and powder. That's what's going to be in this one. And while some of these categories are doing better than others, I definitely want to shrink down all of these categories. And I will mention the numbers that I kind of want to use up this year, because I do have products for most of these categories picked out to use up, and I do get subscription boxes, and I'm not going to change that anytime soon. I like getting subscription boxes, and it does to a point help curb my spending otherwise, which is really helpful in this case. So, point being, I know I have a lot of makeup, I'm working on it, but at the same time, I'm always going to have a lot of makeup, and if that really bothers you, my channel might not be the one for you to watch. But if you want to come on this journey with me, you definitely can. So I'm going to move the camera so that it is facing downwards, so that I can show you an overhead view of every category that I'm going to show in this video. I will say I'm not going to do an eyeshadow palette video of this type because I just know that I'm not going to get rid of eyeshadow palettes. Occasionally I declutter ones that I realize aren't really for me, but I'm always going to have a huge eyeshadow palette collection. It is what I like to collect. It's a collection. It's curated to a point. But I am trying to bring in less eyeshadow palettes this year, but at the same time, it's a number that's never necessarily going to go down by much. It's always going to be huge. Now, if you want to see an actual eyeshadow palette collection, I will happily film one, but it will not be I'm trying to get down this many like some of these other categories I will mention will be like. So let me know if you want to see that. Otherwise, let me get started by showing you how much freaking makeup I actually have. Okay, so foundations for foundations I have 20 plus this what's it called? Foundation lightener. My goal for this year is to work on these four and probably this one so that I can finish off my lightener, because most of these actually match me. So real quick, like we have the LA Colors Pro Coverage HD foundation. That is the lightener. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous, I got that in my Ipsy bag. Physicians Formula Healthy Mix Foundation, which is almost done. Urban Decay's All Nighter. NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop. The Ordinary Coverage Foundation. The AOA Perfect BB Cream. Becca's Ultimate Coverage. CoverGirl Outlast Extreme Wear 3-in-1. CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made. The Revolution Conceal and Define, the Wonder Beauty Nude Illusion, which I also got in an Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. Purely's Perfect Glow BB Cream, got in a BoxyCharm. The Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation, which I got as an add-on to Ipsy. Tarte's Amazonian Clay Full Coverage. I got one of their kits one year. The Believe, what is this called? Skin Finish Foundation. The It Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation, the oil-free matte version, which I might also use up this year just because the SPF expires in November. This is the Ulta Beauty Effortless Effect Medium Coverage, which I have not tried yet. I got it for free in an order. This is one my mother actually bought me for Christmas. It had a primer with it as well. It is the Magic Minerals Airbrush Foundation by Jerome Alexander. This is the Juvia's Place Stick Foundation and the Ulta Beauty Mineral Powder Foundation. I don't have many powder foundations. I think this is the only one, honestly. So rather than having a powder foundation category, I just put it in here. So 20 foundations, and I would like to get down to 16 by the end of the year, which is still a lot, but the thing is, I know I have the Fenty Beauty Foundation coming in my BoxyCharm, my Boxy Luxe next month, so I think getting down by 4 by the end of the year is a solid goal. Okay, now my powders, as you can see, I have a lot. I'm not as worried about getting this category down for number's sake, but I do want to knock some out simply because storage-wise, these take up a lot of damn room. So we have 11, what are these? Pressed powders and 15 loose powders, which I know I want to knock out these two and these two this year. I might also start aiming for my other little mini powders right here just to get some space. But we have the Ciate London Extraordinary Translucent Powder, the Ciate London Everyday Vacay Coconut Powder, the Complex Culture Translucent Powder, that's from Ipsy, the Mented Cosmetics Loose Setting Powder, the Cover FX Translucent Powder, what is this called exactly? Perfect Setting Powder. I have 2 of the Peach Perfects. I'm trying to use up the little one this year. And I have 2 of the Tarte Shape Tape Powders. I would also like to use up the little one this year. I have a Be a Bombshell Powder, a Becca Hydra Mist, KVD Vegan Beauty Loose Powder, a Bare Minerals Mineral Veil, a ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder, and an AOA Perfect Setting Powder. And for my, what's it called? Pressed powders. I'm bad with words today. We have the CoverGirl Clean Matte. I know that this is technically a powder foundation, but I do not use it that way. It is the Burt's Bees Mattifying Powder. The Wet n Wild Coverall Powder. As you can see, this one has a lot of pan in it and it's almost done. I have the Gigi Gorgeous Setting Powder. The Bare Minerals Invisible Light. One of these is a highlighter and one of these is a matte setting powder. So I just count it as one, and then I count the highlighter in my highlighters. The Revolution Bacon Blot Powder, the Ciate Watermelon Burst Powder, Milani's Prep Set and Go Translucent Powder, Essence All About Matte, AOA Studio Perfect Finished Press Powder, and a Catrice Prime and Fine Mattifying Powder. So as far as goals, I would like to lose at least 4 of the, what are these? Loose setting powders. And I've already actually used up one of these this year, but I used up my Neutrogena, but I would like to use up at least these 2 and possibly 1 more. I do go through a lot of powder, so it shouldn't be an issue. So, powders. All right, up next is my primers, and as you're about to see, I have a lot of primers, and you're like, you know, that's not that much. This is only one category of primers. So this is my other category. I have mattifying, pore filling, hydrating / illuminating, and other. Where other mostly means color correcting, but there's also some, like the Hydro Grip, which I don't think mattifies me, or like these silicone ones where I don't really, they're silicone based primers. They help keep my makeup on my skin, but they certainly don't mattify or hydrate or anything like that. So they are other. Let's see, we have these 4 from LA Colors. They are pink, peach, yellow, and green. I have this Ulta Perfect Canvas Face Primer. It came with the Frida Kahlo collection. Here's the Milani Color Correct, the Pure 4-in-1 Correcting Primer. Fenty's, what is this called? Pro Filter Primer. The CoverGirl Simply Ageless. 2 of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. I'm aiming to use. Okay, slight change in angle. My battery died and I had to change it, but it's fine. It's cool. I had a spare. Anyways, like I said, I have the 2 of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip minis. This is a larger mini. I think they might actually sell this one. But I'm aiming to use up this mini this year. I have the Bite, let's see, what is this? Changemaker? Bare Minerals Prime Time, Ulta Flawless Prime, Cover FX Water Cloud, which I guess might be a hydrating one. I just threw it in here. The YSL Touche Clot and the Lancome Base Pro, so there are 17 of these. Alright, so here is my hydrating slash illuminating, which there are 21, and as you can see, a bunch of them are full sizes because that tends to come in boxes a lot. Plus, I have definitely gained a fondness for not necessarily illuminating, but hydrating primers in the past couple of years. So this is the Illamasqua Hydra Veil, and this is obviously my favorite. It's the Becca First Light Priming Filter. We have 2 of the purchasable travel sizes, a full size and a mini. I know that Becca is going out of business in September. Trust me, I am mourning that. I will probably pick up a backup or 2 once they go on sale, which is why I really want to knock this category down. We have a Yensa Tone Up Primer in the Essential Glow. The Tula, it's like hydrating and moisturizing. Hydrating and, what is this called exactly? Face Filter Blurring and Moisturizing Primer. Thank you. I have the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. The Ciate London Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer. Love that too. I have the Touch and Soul Glassy Skin Primer. I have this VDL Illumilayer Primer. I think that's a full size. I have 2 of these Pure Correcting Illuminating Primers. I could have thrown them in with correcting, but I went illuminating, so there is that. I have a Ulta Hydrator Primer, a First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Primer, a First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Primer, a Marc Jacobs Primer. I think this is the Undercover Perfecting Coconut Primer, Smashbox Primerizer, Ipkin New York Radiant Cream Primer, Tarte Base Tape, and Cover FX Illuminating. So, like I said, this is a category I definitely want to knock down. A lot of the primers I picked to use this year, at least in the minis, are from this category. Like, I want to use one of the Pure. I want to use up both of these Becca ones right here because they are my oldest ones. And I know I picked out the Smashbox as well. That might be it from this category. Oh no, wait, I picked out the Illamasqua one too, just because this packaging annoys the crap out of me. So, there we go. All right. Here are my pore filling primers. I actually use 2 primers every day. I use a pore filling and then something else depending on my skin, what foundation I'm wearing that day, etc. This is surprisingly my lowest primer category, although the vast majority of them are full size, so they're still going to take me forever to get through. By the way, this is technically a full size because that's how you buy it. You just don't get a lot of product, but you only pay $1. So this is the other part of that set that my mom got me for Christmas from Magic Minerals by Jerome Alexander. It is the Liquid Skin Air Primer. I put it in here because it says it creates a smooth surface. I've actually never used it. I don't know what it does. Anyways, I have the Ordinary High Adherence Silicone Primer, the Touch and Soul Pores No More, the LA Colors Color Correcting Clear that says it minimizes pores, the Ulta Poreless Face Primer, the Il Makiage No Filter Poreless Base Smoothing Primer, Revolution's Ultra All Day Prime and Anti-Shine Balm. I use these to fill in pores, so anything I get that's like this anti-shine balm that you put on top of makeup, I don't use it that way. So I use it to fill in pores, which is what this Ulta one down here is as well. We also have the Tarte Shape Tape Pore Prime and Fine Primer, the Becca Skin Love Perfecting Blur Primer, the LA Girl HD Primer, which fills in pores, and the e.l.f. Poreless Putty. I don't have the mattifying or illuminating, I have the regular one. So 12 pore filling primers. Alright, so final primer category. This is mattifying, of which I have 16. So we have the Neutrogena Shine Control, ColourPop All-Star, Smith & Colt Black Drop, the Revolution Mattify, J-Cat's Mattifying, Essence Mattify and Pore Minimizing, Catrice Prime and Fine, Pore Refining Anti-Shine, AOA Wonder Skin Mattifying, a mini of the Smith & Colt, 2 of these Advanced Mattifying Emulsions. I can't remember the exact name of this. It is the Miraness Absolutely Smooth Treatment Primer, but trust me, it's mattifying. Smashbox Oil Control, a Unicorn Glow Longwear Primer, the Pores Be Gone Mattifying Primer from First Aid Beauty, and the IT Cosmetics Oil-Free All Day Primer. So, altogether, I have 67 primers. That is too much. Now, I do love to try new primers. That's usually why I get minis. That's why I have so damn many minis. This is one that I really want to knock down some. So, I know this year I plan to work on these two minis right here and these two, I believe. So, my goal is to get down to 55 by the end of the year, which means I need to use up at least 14. Of course, stuff's going to be coming in from boxes, so I need to actually use up more, to be honest. But honestly, if I can get it under 60, I'll be happy. But my goal is to get it down to 55, which means I need to use at least, not 14, 12. I swear I know how to do math. Alright, so this is my concealer collection. I have 17 regular concealers in this palette right here. And for color correctors, I have 5. And I'll get into that in a second. I know I could count this as a color corrector because it's white, but I just count it as a concealer because I use it with my concealers. I don't know, it made sense in my head when I did my numbers, so I'll just keep it that way. So we have the e.l.f. Camo Tarte Shape Tape. This is just a mini. 2 of the LA Girl Pro Concealers. Like I said, I have the white and the regular one. I have the Kokie Be Bright, the CoverGirl Undercover. The Cover FX one, I bought this when it was half off at Sephora. Milani Conceal and Perfect, the Ulta Full Coverage Liquid Concealer, Makeup Revolution's Conceal and Define, the Juvia's Place one, and this thing is huge. The Pretty Vulgar Concealer, Dose of Color Concealer, Smashbox Concealer. I got all of those from boxes. And as you can see, the Pretty Vulgar one is a little too dark for me, honestly, but I'm not perfect at buying my concealer shade either, as you can see, because we got some variety in shades here. That's why I have the white one. I have the Morphe, the Catrice, and the Medicube Red Conceal. And like I said, I have this MD Measure the Difference concealer palette that I got from BoxyCharm way back when. Only like 3 of these shades really match me, so I figure I will work to use up those 3 shades, hopefully this year, if not next year. And then I will just declutter the rest of it, because like this shade, and this shade are the only ones that match me. I can use this shade to color correct underneath my eyes, but that's about it. Now, as for my actual color correctors, I have the Jekka Black Liquid Concealer, the NYX HD in green, this Hard Candy Cream Concealer, Color Correct Expert Cream in Light Peach, which is almost done. And I have this Bella Pierre Pro Concealer Palette. I don't count one of these because I would never use it, but I do count the other 2 as their own thing. So like I count this one because I can use it at least. It's a little dark for me though. And the green I can obviously use, but I don't need the purple, so I don't count it. So let's say I used up these two, I would only count for 2/3 of the price because I would never use that purple. So I'm not as concerned about my concealer collection as I am some other things, because it's not awful. It's not great, but it's not awful. I'm planning to work on these 3 this year, plus at least these 2 color correcting things. So if I got this down to 14 and this down to 3, I would be happy. Well, this one down to 14 and this one down to 3. Yeah, I got that right. But I assume at least I'm gonna probably buy at least one, and bring a box is gonna probably send me one. So I might want to try and use up at least one or 2 others from this top set right here. I know the e.l.f. has a lot of work on it, but it's so big that it would take me forever. So I might pick one of these smaller ones, or probably one of these that doesn't match me very well, and work on it too. So we'll see what happens. Okay, now for makeup sprays, of which I have 2 categories because once again I'm extra. These are the sprays I use to kind of settle down powder, because I powder the crap out of my face because I'm oily. And I also use mattifying setting sprays, which I'll show next. So for this, I have 2 of the Milani Fruit Fetish Make It Last setting sprays. This one is in watermelon, and this one is in peach papaya. No, this is kiwi melon, but it has like a straight up watermelon on there. Here is the In Beauty Power Up Dual Phase setting spray. Definitely for powder, not for mattifying. Ciate Everyday Vacay Coconut, and the Ciate Dewy Spray that has a little bit of shimmer in it. Here is the Laura Geller Spackle Mist Restore in the coconut water, much more for powder. Tarte Ready Set Radiant, the Tarte Maracuja Miracle Mist, which is like, it's like the Morphe one that everybody likes. This is the Beauty Bakery Sweet Glacé Baking Spray. I've actually never tried this. It is my guess that it goes in this category. Here we have the Skin & Co. Truffle Therapy. And I don't know if this is a makeup setting spray or for like skincare, but lots of people I know that have dry skin love this as a makeup setting spray. So I picked it up to see if I would like it for settling makeup because it's really inexpensive. So it's the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, cucumber, and green tea. This looks ghetto AF, I know, but I did something stupid with it. It is one of the Smashbox primer waters. And this one is this is the crystallized photo finish primer water in clary sage and tea. But I thought that the actual packaging was just like, you know, plastic to keep people's dirty hands off, so I ripped it off without thinking about it. So I had to write on there what it was. Anyways, here is the Ulta Watermelon Facial Mist, and I just got this in the other day. I bought it as an add-on from BoxyCharm. It is the Farsali Rose Gold Skin Mist. I've always wanted to try it, but I don't want to pay Farsali prices, so when they had it for sale for like either $6 or $9, I figured I'd give it a shot. So 14 of these. I just finished my Pixie Glow Mist, so the next one I plan to work on is this. So if I can knock 3, so if I can go from 14 to 11 in this category, I'll be happy. I do want to, you know, bring this in some, but this is one of those categories that I like to try new things in, so it tends to be a little big. And finally, we have matte setting sprays or fixing sprays or whatever you want to call them. I don't know the correct terminology. As you can see, I have 17. A lot of them are minis, which should make it a little bit easier for me to knock this category down. And a lot of them are duplicates, which I'll get into in a minute. But we have the Too Faced Peach Perfect, an Urban Decay All Nighter Summer Solstice, a Scandinavia setting spray, 2 full-size all-nighters that I bought in a Christmas set, not in 2020, but 2019. The CoverGirl Look Lock-Up Makeup Revolution's Pro Fix Mattifying Setting Spray, the e.l.f. Matte Blotting Mist, the Essence Instant Matte Setting Spray, the Tarte, what is this called exactly? I always screw up this name. Stay Stray Setting Spray. It's part of their, like, Shape Tape line. And for all these minis, we have this one from Rebel Rouge Labs that I am currently working on. 2 of the Ulta Beauty Wannabe Free Matte Setting Sprays. I bought a mini, and then in an order I did in February, I got another as part of a gift with purchase. I might toss one of them into my giveaway pile for my next giveaway because I haven't opened either one. And I might do that with one of these Cover FX too, just because. Do I need 3 minis? No, I do not. But I do love this setting spray, and when they discontinued from Sephora, the mini, I would have rather have bought one full size, but these little minis were what they had left, so I just stocked up. And then I got this Koki Fix It Up matte setting spray from Ipsy with points. So I would like to knock this down by 5, honestly, and because I'm almost positive I'm going to toss 2 into my next giveaway, I don't think that will be that hard because I'm working on this one. But the other 2 that I really want to finish up this year are both full sizes. I want to use up one of these Urban Decays, and I want to use up this Tarte. This Tarte is actually in my A to Z project pan, but I haven't started on it yet because I've been working on knocking a few minis out. So, like I said, I'm working on this one right now. I might work on one more mini, but after that, for the rest of the year, I'm probably just going to be working on these 2. So we'll see where I can get to, but I would like to knock this down to 12 overall. So that is it for this video. Next will probably be cheek products. I'm not too worried about my powder cheek products other than knocking out some non-cruelty free ones. But I do have some cream stuff that I want to definitely shrink down. So stay tuned for that. I will probably be putting up one of these a week because this is a lot of filming. Like, this is the same amount of filming as doing my makeup empties at the end of the year. So if I'm a little late with them, bear with me. But my goal is to get them up one a week in March and update like 6 months out from that. So stay tuned.